Hey everybody, it is Jason, and today I'm less than a week to go until my surgery, which is so amazing, and yet it feels so far away just because I'm still like at work. I've got everything ready, so I'm not prepping for surgery or anything, so it still feels like a really long way away. It's been a pretty emotional few days. Obviously my previous video I wasn't feeling great, but then I felt pretty calm, had my pre-op, and then suddenly one day I felt really vulnerable and really upset, not because I was worried about surgery, but more just the premise of I have to have surgery just so I can feel right in my body, which to me felt unfair. Tuesday was also a difficult day as well, and I felt like I was hauling myself through that, mainly because the past few Tuesdays, just because my surgery's going to be on Tuesday, I guess, have been difficult. Because in a way it's like, you get a week later and a week closer, and that's good, and then you think, oh, but there's this many to go. So that's kind of rubbish. But today I've been feeling okay and stuff, and today is going to be a positive post, because we're not thinking about how much time is left to go, because seriously, in the grand scheme of things, it's not very long. Like a week from now, I will have had my surgery. Like there won't be this bump. It will just be flatness, and it'll be amazing. And I have made a list of things that I'll be able to do after top surgery. And this won't be the same for everybody, of course, but I think it's good, especially for cis people, who don't necessarily know what things people who bind have to go through or avoid or not be able to do, and that's important. So some of the things are going to be like fairly small things, but they mean such a lot, and they're going to be much bigger things as well. Obviously there are a couple of things that are really obvious. So after surgery I will not have to wear a binder. After surgery I can wear certain clothes, so like tank tops. I've kind of avoided those because you can see them here and it just sticks out a lot and whatever. But there are other things as well. So the first thing, for me in particular, is important because I like to wear a lot of different t-shirts with lots of different designs on, is that, right, I've got several different binders of different colours. They're slightly different in terms of shape, mainly because some are second-hand, some are not. So they're ever so slightly different. At the minute, I have to work out each day, to an extent, what shirt I can wear with which binder I happen to have clean at the time. So for example, in terms of colour, if I've got a black binder, I can't wear white t-shirts. Or if it's like grey, will this t-shirt work? Will it not work because of the colour? That's an example. Another one is in terms of how the binder sits. So as I said, some are second-hand, some are not, so depending on who's worn it previously, is a certain shape. So, especially with specific logos like this one, you've got to kind of work out, okay, the way this binder is making them sit, will I be able to wear this t-shirt for it to look okay, or is it gonna not make them look flat enough and therefore not look good? So all this stuff I have to do every day, and on the days where I can not wear a binder, so if I'm not going out for example, there are just some t-shirts I can't wear because they're too too tight almost. So yes, they fit, even like without the binder, but it's just, you can feel too much of it and it causes me a lot of dysphoria. It makes them stick out a lot. So there are some things I just don't wear. But the point is, after surgery, I don't have to worry about any of that at all. I can throw on whatever t-shirt I fucking want, and that just feels so good. Like, I have a lot of t-shirts, a lot of different tops, and sometimes it's just like, oh, I kind of fancy wearing this today or whatever. Or, you know, especially work, you know, I don't want to have to spend an extra 5 minutes working out what t-shirt I can wear with which binder. I should just be able to go straight in, pick one out and be like, okay, I'm wearing this today. So that is just amazing. And with things like button-up shirts as well, I might start wearing more of those. When I used to wear a suit to work, before they kind of relaxed the dress code, I always had to wear a tie because it draws the eye down and stops you directing your eyes to sort of round here. Whereas pretty much every other guy never ever wore a tie, so at times I felt a bit overdressed, and it's like I don't want to have to do my tie every day sometimes because it's like I can't be bothered. So, you know, little things like that, it's like actually, yeah, I can just wear whatever I want. And obviously with the tank tops as well, I'll be able to wear those in the summer, which will be amazing because obviously t-shirts are nice, but if it gets too hot, then, you know, I want to wear something more kind of with more air and things, so yay. Speaking of heat, here's another thing. So, especially if I'm doing like live streaming or something where I can get away with not wearing a binder, normally for comfort I put on a hoodie because then I know for definite people can't see them. Thing is, these are a certain size where with like a baggy hoodie I can get away with you not seeing them. And there have been actually quite a few times where I've passed without a binder on because I'm disguising them with a hoodie. But obviously with a hoodie you can get hot, and especially with me because I get hot all the time. So there have been times when I've had to wear a hoodie but I'm too hot and I really want to take it off, but I can't because I'd rather like suffer in being too hot than have to remind myself that these exist or that people might see them. More the former now than the latter, but it's like I don't want to remind myself that they exist, so I'm going to keep my hoodie on, which is like I want to just be able to take it off when I want or put it on when I want. Not this sort of reshuffling binder around if I'm wearing it, or not have to remind myself that these are here if I'm not wearing it. So that's just absolutely amazing. Another thing in terms of feeling them is, if I go, say, without a binder for a whole day, I have done this a couple of times at work, it feels nice to start with because it's less strain on your back and your ribs, obviously, because you're not constricting them. But after a while, especially if I'm walking around and even just walking, you can feel them moving and jiggling, if you will. So that just makes me feel utterly horrendous. So I do it on limited occasions, maybe one day, and then I kind of have to have a binder on for a few days and then I can do it again. So again, that's why I only do it at the weekends more, because I'm sitting more and not moving around. But yeah, when I've had surgery, I will not feel stuff moving around, or if I will, it's just like my pecs, so very, very minor movements. So hooray. There are sort of more physical things as well, so obviously because I won't bind, I won't have any back or chest pains anymore. They're not as frequent now, fortunately, because I'm wearing my binder less frequently. But oh my god, for a while it's just like there'd be like a pain here or a pain in my back, and at the moment my sort of lower back is hurting a bit, just general achiness. I've never broken a rib, fortunately, or had any major like bruising or anything, but there've been times where, especially with my ribs, they have hurt quite badly actually. So there's all that stuff, and it's just like, yay, it's amazing, I won't have to worry about it being too painful. A lot of people say yes, it's worth it, but at the same time it's like, it does your head in. Also, I've mentioned this before, but when I wear a binder for too long, I kind of get like air trapped here, so it doesn't hurt, but it's really, really irritating, so that's gonna go away as well. I'm also gonna have better posture, like I won't be like sitting like this, I'll be sitting sort of like this, except even just doing that makes me see them. So the problem is that you kind of hunch your shoulders over and you kind of crunch everything back, so it still makes it look flat. And I'm doing this just without thinking. I'm not kind of putting my chest out like that, because look, it makes everything show up, and put them away, Jason, put them away. So yeah, there's just, again, little things like that, but my posture will be so different in the next few months, and I'll be able to sort of hold my chest up high and not hide anything and all that. Just absolutely amazing. Breathing more easily, so the fact that I've, you know, worn a binder for a few years now, it's like my breathing has gone right downhill, which as a vocalist is unfortunate, and it's like I can get my breathing back in order and all that, and have amazing breathing again, which is great. I will be able to feel more confident at the gym. Obviously I won't need to bind in the gym either, so my breathing will be so much easier in the gym. Like, I look around sometimes in the gym and think, nobody else here is wearing a binder, and they can breathe way more easily than me, and it's like I have to kind of do extra work almost, like, to be able to breathe and stuff. Now, before you go and into the comments and say, oh, you shouldn't bind in the gym, it's like, I use a very loose binder, and I always listen very carefully to my body, so if at any point I feel actually, you know, I feel like my breathing is too heavy or something, then I stop. Or rather, I would stop. Fortunately, that's never happened to me, because it's a loose binder. So, do not worry. Oh, this one's a random little thing, but again, it's annoying. Scratching your shoulders and your back with a binder on, like I haven't got one on now, as you can probably tell, and just scratching, it's like, okay, fine. But doing it with a binder on, it's an absolute pain in the arse. Seriously, it's like, it doesn't quite work if you, like, scratch your back with a binder on, so you kind of have to go underneath the binder and do it, and the binder's really tight, so you can't really get to the right place, and oh my god, it's so fucking annoying. And then there's the added thing, if you're doing it in public, you don't want people to see that you're wearing one, so you kind of have to try and not expose that you're wearing a binder, and it's ridiculous. Nah. Speaking of public, let's go on to public things. So, obviously I can have a naked chest in public, because thanks to the double standards of toxic masculinity, whilst I can't have a naked chest now, I can have one after top surgery, even though they are the same nipples. That's just something I can rant about all day. But yeah, I'll be able to have a naked chest in public. It's going to be weird, and I'm going to kind of need to get used to that, and I'm sure there's some kind of unwritten standard of where you can technically and where you can't, but there is that added privilege of I can just take off my shirt if I'm a bit too hot, and nobody will give a shit. So, you know, that's cool. It's not like the most favourite thing I'm looking forward to, but damn, it's going to help, again, especially if I get too hot. That's going to be really, really nice. I'll also be able to do car journeys much more easily. I've not really heard many people talk about this before, but oh my god, car journeys are such a big problem with a binder on, because you get uncomfortable. Again, there's the whole sort of posture thing, especially with me. I very much crunch myself forward in the seat of the car, and again, it's just instinct. And then there's the whole added thing of, you know, do you wear a binder for long periods of time, which is bad, or do you not wear a binder, and then what do you do if you need the toilet en route, or if you need some food? You can't just get out of the car at a service station and go in. You'd have to put it back on again, and it's like, well, how do you do that when you're surrounded by people, and there's just all this stuff, and it just gets really, really uncomfortable. So, oh my god, car journeys are just going to be so much better, and so much easier. Just, yeah, that's for me, that's a big one, because we do the odd car journey, like maybe once every couple of months, so, you know, big deal. 3 pretty major things. The first one many trans guys talk about, or trans masculine people, is they can go to the beach. So I've obviously been to the beach before many times. In fact, I was born on an island, but there was always this massive confusion in my head, in that I would enjoy the beach, but also absolutely hate it, and I couldn't work out why. And now I know why. I would enjoy the water and, like, swimming and stuff, but I would also hate it because of dysphoria, and I thought it was just because I was too hot. But no, actually no, it was much more than that. So the fact that I'll be able to go to the beach as myself and the dysphoria will just go away is brilliant. I could also use changing rooms as well. At the moment for the gym, I get changed in the loo, which is not the most pleasant experience ever, especially if the person in the loo next to you has had like a heavy meal the night before. So yeah. So I'll be able to get changed in changing rooms, and I mean, I'm kind of a little bit worried about if someone's going to ask about my scars, but I'm tempted to just make something up. Yeah. Because I don't really want to explain it to people, frankly, at this stage. I might do a bit later, but at the minute, no. But yes, I'll be able to actually use changing rooms, and that'll be so much easier because, you know, more space and not next to someone who's literally having a shit and things like that. Also, public showers, which are not like a thing really that I need to worry about. But say, for example, if I'm camping and doing festivals, which I'm not planning to do anytime soon, but that's been another thing in that, you know, it's just so much easier when you don't have to worry about binding. But then public showers are also a thing. It's like you can go and have a shower somewhere in public, or if you're in like a communal hotel or something, you don't have to worry about going into the men's showers because that's all fine. So, you know, and for those of you who've watched my festivals video, it's like I decided that I would not go to a festival again until I'd had top surgery. Because down there you can kind of disguise, or you can just put some like shorts on or something and nobody cares, but this is so on view that you just can't disguise it when you're in that kind of situation. A few other things that are maybe not so important, but again they are still like significant to me, is that, and I've mentioned some of these before, say the postman arrives really early in the morning. Doesn't matter, because I can just answer the door. I won't have to either put a binder on or put something on to kind of disguise the fact that they are here. And you might think, oh, well, it doesn't matter, like, you're not going to see them again. It's like, well, yes, it does matter. And the same with, like, other deliveries and things like that. Also, if we happen to just need something, like, I don't know, not a pint of milk in this case, because we don't really drink that much milk, but say we needed a pint of milk and just nip to the shop, I could just nip to the shop without any problems. Like, I won't have to kind of put myself all together and dress myself up, as it were, and all kind of, I can just nip out. Doesn't matter. What else? Oh yeah, if people are staying over, or if I am staying with other people, that's another thing as well, because it's like, you know, do you wear your binder all the time? Because it's a long time and they're with you in the same house, so there's that. Things like getting ready for bed or getting changed, that can be a problem when there are other people that don't necessarily know you, or especially if you're stealth around them, you know, it's difficult. So that is actually a big thing, because we do quite often have people not necessarily to stay over, but at least with us for the whole day, because we're playing like D&D and stuff. So that's a big one actually for me. The last one really is during intimate times with my fiance, I will feel way less dysphoric. It's weird in that they, talking about sex for a moment, they do give me pleasure when used, but at the same time it's just wrong, because I know they shouldn't be there, and it's really weird and conflicting and all this stuff. Obviously with surgery it causes numbness. I've heard that it can come back, but it doesn't always, so I don't know how much I'm going to get back. I've just noticed there's a chip in the table. Oh no. Sorry, I've been really distracted tonight. Other things have happened. I've had to do a second take, but there we go. But yeah, so I don't know what will happen with this and numbness, but even so, it will just look so much more correct that I don't actually care if I don't get any sensation back, because it will at least look right, and that's to me the most important thing. So I hope you've enjoyed this lovely positive video about things that I'll be able to do, and if you're waiting for top surgery as well, then those things of course that you'll be able to do. And if you are waiting and it's difficult, then I know that this is said a lot, but your time will come, and just, yeah, you can do it, you can do it. I'm doing invisible pom-pom cheerleading for you because you, like, when 2 years ago, or like when I first came out, it's like I am ready for top surgery, and I'm still here and still waiting for it, but I'm almost there. So it will happen for you. Eventually it will. Seriously, trust me, it will happen. And of course, feel free to like the video, comment if you've had surgery, if you've not had surgery, or if you'd rather not disclose such things, that's fine, but you know, talk about fun things and happy things. And if you want to get more videos, ring the bell, as well as subscribing to get an email through into your inbox. Next video is gonna be the actual big S itself, and like I'm gonna document my time in Hull and like aftercare and stuff when I'm not sleeping or super dopey. So yeah, oh my god, it's gonna be amazing. So I'll see you all in that, but until then, I will see you very soon. So bye bye.